Are you gonna hear me?
Yeah. So you said the steps.
Oh, I was
Okay,
saying most people aren't just gonna jump up and leave out of their homes or their towns. So what would be the first steps for someone to start living a more primal lifestyle in in their own homes, in their towns? And so starting with the home, start changing out your cleaning products.
Going back to more simple.
Yeah.
Same with food, is like simple ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Don't eat anything that you don't understand. There was a real friend, Rum, told us, I really liked. It's like if you read the ingredient list and there's something you don't understand, don't eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put it in your body.
Mm-hmm.
These weird scientific names are like food. Real food doesn't need names like that.
Wear less shoes, especially in the home. A lot of people keep their shoes on in homes. That's a big one.
Or sandals, when it's cold. But just
just go barefoot or wear socks.
Yeah. And try to find, I think now they're doing like shoes that are larger. They don't need to be like the toe shoes. They're just shoes that don't fuck up your toes.
They have a big, wider frame.
And they actually look good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see some people here where they look pretty cool.
I had the Lems hiking shoes. I think the lighting in the home also should be aware of.
I can see how important it is for us today.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people keep lights on really late at night and they're really bright, and that messes with...
That's what I was going to say, Leah. Look around you. When you ask like how disconnected from nature we are, we live in cities where we need the lights constantly.
Mm-hmm.
We're like so scared of the darkness. We're so scared of like just following the rhythm of the natural rhythm of nature, we're so scared of it. We're trying to fight so much against that. And
yeah, cities are all lit up.
It's like light all the time, and then you make sure you close your blinds so the sun doesn't wake you up. That's the best alarm. That should be your alarm every day.
That's how I lived. That's exactly how I lived, actually. The past years in my home in towns, I always had the blinds or the window open, so that way I knew when to.
Yeah.
And I just like being as much as outside as I possibly could, so my bed was next to the window.
How important would this be when it comes to women and being disconnected from their cycle? How important would that be of like women who just don't know when the sun is up, when the night comes. So their whole body is like, their instinct is, I need to know when the sun comes up and when the night comes.
Based off of the moon.
Yeah, it's like your body should know that, But we're so disconnected from that. So
women are more disconnected because of birth control. Birth control changes the natural rhythm of their cycle, which changes their entire cycle for their circadian rhythm and their cosmic rhythm, because their whole internal knowing of their womb is turned off because the hormones are fixed now, and it changes everything for them. That's why they have no idea when they're ovulating. They have no idea when they're going to be on their period. It's such a disconnect, and it's really sad because it takes away a true power of a woman, which is being intuitive, being able to create, being able to manifest things effortlessly, brilliantly. But birth control pills changes all of that. It's really fucked up. These people, these women?
The birth control.
How old?
Yeah, how long have we had birth control for?
Since the 70s.
But you think, because for me, I feel electricity.
I would definitely.
We fuck like rhythm up even more than birth control. I mean, both together is just like a disaster.
No, I would say birth control definitely messes up a woman's rhythm, because now she's basically.
I think one is getting you out of touch with your natural rhythm, which is like electricity, and the other one, birth control, is like literally mixing your genetic DNA, whatever.
Yeah, internally.
Yeah.
And it's What happens is that when we live in the matrix or in society, we are on one rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
It's 8 a.m. get to work, 5 p.m. you're done, and then it's all about what are the other activities that you're participating in with your family, and then you repeat, and then you wait for the weekend, so that way you can just be a weekend warrior and drink, and that's the cycle. There's no, Mehdi's not feeling well today, he needs to not go to work and rest. There's none of that. If you do that, you're looked in the work field, you're looked as like weak, or not a good, not even weak, not just he's not a good worker, he doesn't show up, and it becomes an always thing. And that's also your story as well when people live in these types of cities and rhythms, which takes away an entire woman's honoring what's happening within her own body. She's taught to live as that, in that one rhythm of the busy bee, the constant
so it's time.
doing.
The problem is
What? A time,
it's
yeah.
a concept of time. It's like now
we revolve around time.
Yeah, it's like we don't need that. It's like, yeah, but we've had like watches for a long time. I'm like, yeah, but very based. First, it was based on like the sun, you know, and but it doesn't mean that you carry one on you all the time to know what time it is. Like we don't need that, and you can very much see it here where we live. Time is very different. You know, everyone tell you like San Marcos pretty much timeless because it's pushed to the extreme sometimes. But like you don't really need to know what day it is or what time it is. You know, your life can evolve way more naturally. And for us especially, that's what it is, because our house is fully open, which means we basically live outside. We wake up when the sun hits. Like there's no phone in the bedroom. You know, we don't need the phone in the bedroom. You go to bed and you wake up with the sun. And at night we see the sunset. That's what this conversation is about. It's sunset
chats.
Sunset session.
Sunset.
So I just move. Suddenly I was just talking to the camera.
Session. That's a hard one. Sunset session.
Sunset session. Yeah, that can be our thing instead of a podcast to start with.
It's so nice and beautiful.
It's so good.
Sorry.
That's the thing. Is like the camera doesn't see.
It's so dark. I wonder if it looks like anything is there at all.
Beautiful.
We should get the phone.
No.
They could hit it.
No, they're not gonna hit the phone. And if they hit the phone, I jump in the water and get it. They'll be annoying, but I don't think they're gonna hit the phone. They're not retarded. Buenas noches. Está bien.
Hola.
Claro. I love how the daddy is just going for
A swim.
Buenas noches. Buenas noches.
How cute.
Maybe she just got inspired. The little girl she was looking at, I was like, what are they doing with the phone? Is that how you do podcasts? Maybe I'm gonna get started.
Yeah. Wow, that's a crazy memory. Yeah, when I was little, I used to keep my window open, and I would do it secretly because my dad didn't want me to have the window open because of danger or whatever. So I would just crack it open a little bit because I would just so that way I could like
sort of listen to that.
Like sort of be outside, you know? Like I loved it.
Why do you have to be a gypsy, Adriana?
And I wanted to feel the cold, but I wanted all these blankets on top of me. So I was like really warm. Wow, I can't believe I remember that. That's so cool.
I always had to close the blinds. I was terrified because
of the blinds.
Because to close the blind, that was like the back of our house, and it was like so dark at night. That was terrifying me. I had to close them while there was still light outside. And if I do it, if I would do it after, I would be like so scared. That would be so hard. That was the time when I needed to sleep with a little light. I would wake up in the middle of the night crying because of the dark.
The dark was scary. It was scary for me too.
But why are we scared of the dark? What do we What do we
The
get
night
this?
I used to fear. I
think it's
did.
this
It's
I would attribute to
electricity.
electricity. I would attribute the fear of dark to electricity.
Yeah, fear of the dark.
Why would you have candles before? A room with candles feels very different. It's a whole different ambience, you know. And candles will be made. They wouldn't be made in China. They would be made home, made in village. So you don't get to burn candles just like that, just so you can not be scared of the dark at night. You know, I think like at night you turn off the candle and you go to bed. And you know, when it's dark, it's dark. Dark is peaceful. That's what I got to learn. I remember I read from this French writer. What was his name? Pierre Rabhi. He wrote something at the moment I was reading him, at the moment when I dealt with my fear of darkness, the first night with mushroom when I was 27. And he said, don't fear the dark. Like if you don't have any enemies, like the darkness will be peaceful and amazing. And I don't remember exactly the word. Hey, don't touch your phone. Buenas noches. No, está bien, está bien. No. Okay, está bien. Can you imagine? Just try to go behind. That was funny. At least people will see it. It's cool.
It's so funny. He was like, okay, I'll just walk over it. You're like, no.
No, don't do that.
So dark should only be feared if you have enemies.
Yeah, there was something like that. That darkness is peaceful. It's beautiful. We're afraid of it, but it's so peaceful. You know, depending on where you are. Though.
That's
You
what
go
it's
to the jungle,
supposed.
it's loud.
Yeah, and that's how it's intended to be. It's time for rest, recovery.
Yeah.
What?
And we just go check if the phone moving with the wind, but I think it comes from. Hey. Yeah, we're talking about like what would be the first thing for someone who say who live in a city to go
To start
primal.
living a primal life.
And
you can do
the last
it.
point was the light.
The lights.
Yeah.
Change the lights, which
Yeah.
means turn it into amber
And
lighting, buy red
even
lights,
use,
lamps.
Use technologies, you know. Like I love connected LEDs, you know, so I can have every night we have our living room is just very red, and it doesn't hurt your eyes. It's just, and you can lower it and play with that. You don't want a white light, this big bright light. You don't want that at night.
Yeah, this is what hurts.
Yeah, this will fuck up your rhythm.
Hurts the eyes. Starts feeling like anxious because the body knows that it's off. The circadian rhythm is off.
I think there's something that's very important. It's like every day, allocate hours of your time to do things that make you feel amazing.
Yeah.
So that's something that should be identified. There should be like a module on find the thing that will make you feel a lot of joy. You know, instead of being like, oh, I don't know what I like. Okay, go and research it. You know, find the thing that make you feel amazing, and just allocate everyday time for it. And that can be anything. You know, if you like smoking weed, you know, at night, and you feel guilty, don't smoke weed at night.
Yeah, smoke weed at night.
If it's something that makes you feel amazing, you want that. You want to feel amazing, and you want to extend that, and eventually you extend to every day you have. Let's say you get your work, and you don't like working, but every night when you come home, you get excited. You're excited to come home because you know you're going to be doing the thing that you love. You know, maybe it's photography. And so now it's like every night, going back from work, you just extend it a bit more. You're like, oh, I can use this moment to take more photos. I have no idea what I'm using photography is, but you can apply that to many things. And now going to work, you can be excited because you know, you're waking up early to go to work. But that time, that's a golden hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's the time when you can have the best photo.
True.
You know? So you can extend the time to go to work and just take more photos. If you're in a car, if you start, that's something I always say, listen to podcasts. If you're not into podcasts, doesn't matter. Find podcasts that are amazing, because there's so many amazing podcasts, and listen to them when you go into work, and you're gonna enjoy that. You're gonna
Start
be
getting inspired.
Uh-huh.
Get inspired by people and
Get inspired.
and romanticize your life. Like
Yes.
no matter what it is. Exactly. Like I'm gonna go for this drive, whatever the commute is. Listen to a podcast and make it comfy and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you start to have this energy, and you, even when you're at work, let's say you don't really care for it, better things start to come to you. You start to be more of a magnetic being, and you're not attracting negative things, negative situations.
No, because you're not anymore an unhappy person.
Right.
Because you've been able to find this moment of happiness every day in your life.
And
so
gratitude.
you're not exactly. So you're not anymore a happy person. You a person who very much knows what they like. They're just lost in their life, which is perfectly okay. You just don't know what to do. You feel like it's hard, which it is, but you're not like this depressed being who doesn't know what they love, what they want, what they don't want. That's what you gotta discover, and from there you're gonna start appreciating your life way more. You're gonna be able to appreciate the little things, and get curious. I always say get curious.
You can have a good time in the cities. You can. I
Oh
did.
yeah.
I had some good times.
But you need to find yourself. I don't know, like it sounds cliche, and people are like, oh, you need to find yourself. But you're like, yeah, that's definitely the most important thing. How the fuck do you think you're gonna navigate life if you don't know yourself and you don't like yourself? How do you think you can understand anything that's happening around you if you don't even understand yourself?
But that's a big one, because
it's like you don't understand the person you're spending the most time with, but then you're like, in relationship, you're like, I don't understand people. You start hating on people. You're like, you don't even fucking know yourself.
Exactly. People don't know themselves. People don't know how to be authentic. I didn't know how to be authentic. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's hard.
Yeah, yes and no. It is because you don't know how to do it. But as soon as you start doing it, it feels natural.
It does.
So it shouldn't be hard. It should be the easiest thing in the world. What's hard is acting.
It's fitting in, trying to fit in, trying to please.
It's a job.
It is a job.
It's a job that everyone
job.
does in their life. Well, it's so much easier to just be
if
yourself.
You're not being yourself, then you're trying to fit in. You're probably people pleasing, which also means that you're okay. And this is from Renetha, in abandoning yourself. That's what people pleasing sounds like. Oh, she's a people pleaser. She's just nice. It's like, no, she's literally okay with abandoning herself, her needs, her desires, whatever it is, because she's trying to fit into other people that are doing the exact same thing. But you're right, when you start to, what it is for me personally, when I started to really show up authentic is when I became honest about everything. Honest about my opinion in conversations, and just honest about what I want to do with my life. And I stopped pretending like I was going to go these other routes, or agreeing with people just because I didn't want to go into a conversation. And I think that's when I started to show up as authentic, is during that. That's the way I did it. And I think that's the biggest thing, is like show up in your honesty and start to really live the way that you believe in, is the way that you can be authentic.
You don't need to compromise for anyone. Like, someone who really loves you will never ask you to compromise for them. I believe that. It's like, if your mom loves you, she shouldn't be telling you not to travel the world so you can stay next to her. Like
that's so true.
My mom has always been amazing with that.
So is
she was always
mom.
like very sad that I would leave, but she was like, live your life. And she always said, she was like, if I die, I don't want you to come back. She's like, I'd be dead anyway. I don't need to be I don't need you to travel the world to be at my funeral for a sad moment like that. She was like, live your life, you know. And I think this is the biggest proof of love. Like, I love you no matter what you do. You know, and I think that's how we should be with our friends, with our family,
And with ourselves.
and trust that they're on their way. But then you need to find a balance. Like, when do you help and when do you offer you help? And if the person doesn't want your help, don't fight it. You know, if you think you can help because you think you genuinely have more knowledge and it doesn't just come out of fear, you know, then talk about it. But don't be mad at people for not following your advice. You know, like they need to live their own life.
Yeah, trust that they'll figure it out on their own, and
if they don't,
they do.
they don't. You know, that's not up to you. That's up to them. If when someone doesn't want to leave, it's not your job to force them to leave. You know, they didn't decide to be here. They're allowed to go if they want to. So.
And in time, especially if you really want someone to
we don't
be with
accept
you.
death. So. They're so cute, these two.
Routine.
I love it. The sun and the dove just come. Cuidado, señor, cuidado. Sí, por favor. Es el teléfono.
Hola, Paco, buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Noches.
Buenas noches. Is it the daughter or the son? Oh, the son.
That was the sun, yeah.
Son and dad just going to the lake, just swimming.
To get cleaned up.
Yeah.
Buenas noches.
And
What a cutie.
And no like chemical soap or stuff. It's just like very, you know, like some people here, they still very much like, you have the one who really switched to or like chemical soaps and stuff, and you have the one who still like very much like use the lake
Simple.
the way they've been using and the way it should be used. Used, you know, like you live with it and you don't put anything anything dirty in it. You just, it's here, you drink it, take shit in it, pee in it, whatever. It's a lake. Wash your clothes, but no chemical. And that's what they did. They just did a little shower and you feel so clean after swimming here. In this part, you feel so clean. Like, I would drink this water. I have it coming in my body every time I swim and my body's happy.
I love being in natural water. It is the cleanest I've ever felt.
I never liked lake. I used
This
to
is
swim.
a clean lake, though.
It's
Like the lake that I've been around in my, that lake is green. And
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I've been. But I think because
ugh.
they're shallow, which means like pollution pollute them very quickly too. This is the deepest lake of Central America, which I believe to have veins at the bottom. That is just, this lake is above lava, so it's clean.
It's probably clean.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
This is beautiful. You guys cannot see it, but it's beautiful. How could you? Okay, let's try to describe what we see.
Okay.
2 meters away from us, there's a lake.
Beautiful, glowing lake. Straight ahead, there's mountains, foothills.
No, really. It's literally, it's the mountains, They used to be like the side of the volcano that just collapsed. So it's all around us. It's not that far. And on the left, you have a volcano.
Big
Pedro.
volcano right here.
On the right, you have Eagle's Nest
And
the town.
right above us is the moon, halfway full.
And in front of us, I think that's
A planet, maybe.
no, how do you call it? The first star that appears in the sky.
Oh, I don't know.
Is
Yeah,
it the
because then-
shepherd star? L'étoile du berger?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Because it's the
over
first
here,
one.
this
It's the first one you would see.
all the time. Yeah, this is
Uh-huh.
the first. And
And
it's in
just-
a direct line with the
Yeah, with the moon. It's
with
beautiful,
the moon.
just above us.
That's why I was
The
not
moon
sure.
is a half full.
Half full, yeah. 50% visible.
A tiny bit less. I think this is like
48.
40, 45. I think 45.
It's glowing. And just behind us is a natural reserve of San Marcos, which is like the protected Mayan reserve that is beautiful nature.
And it's dark now, which you guys probably can tell.
I don't know, because I'm going to turn this into a audio podcast too.
An audio, yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
this is going to be on Spotify without the video.
Okay.
And in front of us we have two towns, San Pedro and San Juan, that are casting like kind of actually beautiful light in our direction. That would be better without any light, but they still look cool. Like lights.
Do you hear something?
Yeah.
It sounded like it went. Oops. There it is again.
That was a bird, I think.
Okay. It sounded like
just getting paranoid.
no.
I get it.
It was like a
Yeah.
like maybe we were being loud. I don't know. They didn't want us to talk. We're gonna have to fight someone. Oh my god.
No, we're in a beautiful place.
A beautiful place.
And there's some wind, but it's like it's warm. This is the temperature of every night. We tend to forget that because where we live, we're very exposed to the wind, which means every night is actually pretty cold.
And our home is completely open.
Yeah.
There's really no walls. It's
Like
just a big balcony.
It was warmer at the top of the volcano than it was like in a house when it's windy.
Oh my god. Yeah, not at night though. It was very cold.
Yeah, but it was very cold. We managed to still kind of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I was almost no protection. Try to do this here. Try to sleep on the balcony without anything.
You're like
No, even that.
crying.
Yeah. So go back to the steps. You have the light, the last.
Light, shoes,
Yeah. Food. It's
simple food,
simple food.
organic,
And stop.
or it doesn't need to be
stop-
organic,
no,
but
fuck
local.
Organic is bullshit. Yeah, as local as possible.
Go to
as
your farmers
least modified.
markets. Talk to your farmers. Talk to the people that are growing or raising animals. Ask them about their values.
Make it a mission to find good food.
Yeah.
You know, make it a mix. And if you don't have
And that's the
if you don't have
beauty.
the money, that is fine. But still go simple.
That's
you know,
the
stop
hunt.
exactly, and stop buying the cheap shit stuff. If you buy eggs, you know, buy good quality eggs. Eggs are cheap. Eggs are amazing. You know,
Yeah,
no matter where
simple,
you are,
whole-
get eggs.
Simple
That would
whole
be a good start.
foods.
Yeah.
Very simple. Nothing crazy. Nothing elegant. Just eat.
And if you don't know what it
nourishment.
is, do your research.
Eat
It's
to
time to get clear.
nourish.
It's time to get educated.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay, so we have our
exercise,
food.
move. We'll talk about that.
Yeah,
But
exercise is
move.
free. It can be free. You literally just need your body.
Yeah.
You
You don't need
you don't need to
space.
run,
Yeah, you
but
don't
just
need
move,
space,
explore.
You don't need shoes. You don't need anything but your body.
Simplify your life, essentially.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah,
Simplify your life.
simplify your whole life. Less products, less because those are hormone disruptors. So less deodorants, sprays, all that crap.
Oh,
That
fuck
hurts.
that shit.
That hurts the world. It hurts your body.
But you know, people will always
Also-
tell me like about perfume. They're like, "Don't wear perfume. It's alcohol. You know, it's bad for you." No, I love perfume. But now that I'm out of like chemical perfume, they all smell disgusting to me.
Oh yeah, they're horrible.
All of them.
It's not okay.
There's some rare, like very good quality one.
No,
but it's
essential
rare.
oils are where it's at. Essential oil
Because-
wizardry.
And now there's a lot of amazing perfume that are made of like good quality ingredient that smells so good and that adapt to your own skin. In the one we have, the Wolf Moon.
These are essential oils.
Yeah, but like good mix,
And
like
it's
made by some witches. I love
Mhm.
it.
I would even say if you want to go a further step is get rid of your couches. which is a big attachment for people. Is they don't want to get rid of their couch, but it really promotes a sedentary life.
I love that.
And it
I never thought
also
about
it also really it just promotes a sedentary life, and it's unnatural to be for the body to sit like that. There's a massive energy stoppage point at the hips. Your spine cannot stay erect at all because you're just sitting there, and every time I got up from a couch, I felt more inflamed than if I would have just been sitting on the ground. So
And you know, like couches are so expensive.
they're so expensive.
Don't buy a couch, just buy a nice carpet that you keep clean and put pillows on it. And little table.
It
is
promotes
gonna be so
movement. It promotes more movement. Another
you
thing
gotta
that
go to
I
the floor and
did.
get up and you get comfortable and you change
Yeah.
position because you're on your right, move to the left. Couch, you can literally stay in the same position for hours and hours and not move at all. You
Not
know.
move at all.
That's so bad.
Yes.
And you spend days like that.
Another thing
Yeah.
that I used to do is I used to cover my TV with a tapestry. And I would do that because I didn't want to see this black hole of like a mirror looking back at me, and I wanted to make it prettier. So I would always cover
That's
screens.
because you had an ugly TV.
It doesn't matter,
I had cute
anywhere.
TVs.
I didn't want to see them. So I would cover them with pretty tapestries. Even my TV, my monitors, it's just something that I did. Maybe you would like to do it too, but it kind of like puts it to sleep. Like the TV's asleep now. I don't need to see it. And then when I want to see it, I
like that.
I unveil it and I'm ready.
It also prevents you from just like turning it on any time. I would go as far as like almost get rid of your TV.
Get rid of it, but if you have one in the home, sometimes you want to watch something,
Yeah.
sure. You know, you're still
Yeah.
you're still
But
in
make
town,
it
but
make it
pretty.
exceptional to watch things.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I think it's prettier. It just looks
You know,
nice.
I think this can be one too. It's like make it more unique and exceptional to watch things. Don't have it as routine to every day watch.
Every night I turn the TV on and watch something,
like
and
it's
that's
beautiful.
the last. But
even
that's
now we've been watching Game of Thrones, which is
right. But we're on.
we just finished season 1, 10 episodes, and it took us about a month.
And the last episode we watched was probably almost a week
Oh, I
ago.
think it was more than a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And that's fine. We're gonna watch the rest, but might take us years to finish, and it's fine, because that's the thing. Is like when you enjoy your life. I love watching Game of Thrones. It's the best series ever. But I don't like. My life is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't miss. It's not like, oh, I need to watch Game of Thrones. I'm like, hey, if I watch it, I'm very happy. But look, I'm by the lake, and no matter what you do, you can get into reading, listen to podcasts. I stopped watching when I started listening to podcasts because podcasts educated me so much. Find some good one. There is amazing one. If you're not into podcasts, it just means you're not curious, and you don't want to know more stuff, because there's no one type of podcast. There's literally every kind of podcast. So you can listen, and hey, that can be ours. That can be like our unfuck yourself, get rid of the matrix.
unfuck yourself. I like that.
And get out of the matrix conversation.
Get out of the matrix and.
So like listen to this.
But I
to
think
this
those
podcast.
are your first steps. You know, unplug the Wi-Fi, and we can make a fun, cute little list and add it to
That would be cool.
spot
Yeah,
the description
We
of
can make
how
like
to do
a
it.
Go Primal
A little
PDF.
for free.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Primal and the Matrix, step 1.
One second, do people read PDF really? I still see
Yeah.
sometimes people doing PDF. I don't know. I don't. So I'm like,
We can ask.
I'm curious. So like, who?
We can
Like people
ask.
send free PDF, but does anyone read the free PDF?
I think so. It's one way for people to get information. It's like, oh, they have a free ebook, they have a free PDF. I just need to give them my email and I get it. You know, and then
I've done that many times. I've never read a single one of them.
really, I have.
Okay.
I've used a lot
Okay.
just to see, and also just to see how other people are showing up in their businesses, like what type of methods work for them.
We don't
and-
need to do a free PDF. We just write a blog.
Yeah.
Write blog
Yes.
posts and now
And then
that's
link it.
we have
We'll
a
do it in the
website, yeah.
blog. We will talk
Yeah.
about this in our blog, and we will add the steps.
And fuck yourself. Go back primal.
Primal in the Matrix.
Yeah, primal in the Matrix.
As best as you can.
Ooh.
Primal in the Matrix as best as you can.
Oh, let's write that tonight.
Yeah, that'll
We're
be
in the mood,
fun.
like when we go home, like let's get on a laptop and start writing that.
Okay.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, because we all did it. Mehdi did it. I did it. We all lived there, and until we were like, okay, this is enough. Now I'm ready for the next step. And
there's many ways. Like you don't need to travel the world. I mean, to be honest,
you can
there's
move.
nothing better than traveling the
geography
world.
is part of the dream. If you need to know where you want to live, and
Yeah,
then you
and
need
if
to
you're
know.
American, you gotta learn your geography because
Yeah, I don't.
bad. Yes.
I'm learning ish now, but
Ish.
but that's part of the template that I give all my clients, because the dream is number one. If you don't
If you don't have a vision, a dream.
if you don't have a dream, you don't have a vision, you're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay in indifference. You're not going to be moving forward. You're not making any decisions except staying stagnant. And so this is why you're struggling with whatever it is, weight gain, muscle loss, whatever it might be, low testosterone, low libido, because
because there's anxiety, stress.
there's no drive, there's no dream. So find the dream.
Yeah, you need the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Many people have my cousin is very much at that point. He's been wanting to be out of the matrix for years. He's very knowledgeable about everything that's happening. He's rejecting a lot of everything, but he's at the point where now he's like he lives very simple, but what's missing is the vision. He doesn't have the vision, and that's what's fucking him up, because that's what making him like stagnate and don't know what direction to take. So he's very like, I feel, he's doing his thing, but he's very like stagnant, because I think he doesn't, we've talked about it a few times, he doesn't understand the value of having a vision,
I think people know. They're just afraid to follow it.
No, I don't think so. I think that's not true. No, I believe a lot of people just don't have the vision. They've never had one. Oh, they've had it and he collapsed. Me, when I stopped being chef and I wanted to be a basketball player, and I got injured and I wasn't talented enough, and I stopped, I didn't know what to do for years until a few years ago. I was so lost. There was Budokan gave me like a new purpose,
A new
movement.
So inspiration.
Yeah.
So
get curious,
and then you can find what inspires you.
Yes.
And don't get stuck on the old story of what failed, because that can really fuck
you need
you
to
up.
fail. Failure is
Yeah,
fine.
but people get stuck in their failure. That's
But
what
at least they fail. That's a big difference between, for example, France and the US.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are way better at it. You guys are good at failing. Successful people are known to have failed. In France, for example, I'll give an example of Trump. Trump is successful, but he's failed so many times. In France, you will see article talking about why would you trust someone who failed so many times. Yeah, literally. But it's part of our culture. We don't fail. We don't want to fail. So since you don't want to fail, you just don't do anything.
Yeah, you don't.
And that's why we
don't take risks.
Yeah, we are very, very lazy civilization. Very lazy society. Very assisted. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just analyzing that we're very lazy. Very lazy because we're scared to try. My sister started her farm like years ago, and it's been hard for her, and people are like, oh my God, I don't want her to fail. And I'm like, let her fail.
Yeah.
I'm like, if that's her experience, I'm like, she's strong.
You know how many times I said I wasn't going to do coaching anymore?
Mm-hmm.
I said that a lot, but never really gave up.
No, you can't. And if you fail, like, you don't,
it's
it
too much
doesn't matter.
fun.
Exactly. You're doing what you love.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when I see my sister, I'm like, she's struggling with money, but she's so happy with her cows. I'm like, she got to do it. And if she's stressed at that, she will figure it out. And if she fails, she will figure it out. If she goes broke, she will figure it out. And maybe there will be a way to leave the system. She'll be like, you know what? And that would be the moment. If she ever fails that day, that's when I'd be pushing. I'm like, hey, do you want to spend your life paying off these debts, or you want to fuck them up and just like get out? Because then they cannot get you. They're just like, you don't have money, you know? It's like, you don't put someone in prison anymore. No, I don't know everywhere, but in France, you don't put someone in prison because they don't have money. You know, you're gonna try to get them back in the system so they can pay their whole life, so they can become ships. But you cannot do anything. You're like, I don't have money. So
What
if
do
that
you-
ever happen,
What do you mean by ships? They could become ships.
so they can become like, they can follow the rules again. You know, you have 200,000 to pay off. Now you're gonna have to find a work and pay the rest of your life to, very much like the U.S. is doing and has been doing with
Loans.
education
Oh.
and medical. You know,
So
I have a friend, Rachel, who's been paying. She had a knee injury when she was young, cost her about 70K, I think,
and she's been paying that off.
ever since.
That's horrible.
Ever since. That's 70K to pay. I'd be like, I'm out. I'm out. You won't see me anymore. I'm never paying that off again, ever. I'm like, what a fucked up. But then you can see, like, sometimes, I love reading comments on posts like that, and people are like, take your responsibility, find a job, and pay off your choices. You're like, oh, you fucking moron. Like, you fucking moron. You don't see how fucked you getting. You know, it's like you're getting so fucked, and you think that's making you tough. To support this system, you know, I'm taking my responsibility. I'm paying back the ridiculously expensive loan that I've made when I was 17 years old.
No.
It's like, what? To struggle finding a job. I hope you kill like Ryan. I hope he doesn't do that. What's that kid here? So, you want an advice? Yeah. Get out of school. Drop out of school. Travel the world. Find a job as a waiter. Travel the world and just find your passion like that.
There's no way. I mean, there is a way, please, but
No,
I tried
but
asking.
that's a way to unsatisfaction. You don't end up happy with this. I don't believe it. So the people who make it, the people who are happy living this life are heroes. You know, they're people who are so fucking like amazing that they find a way to be happy in these stupid societies. You know, I think the happy people in society are very strong. In this way, they're the one who make it work. But it's not made for us to work. Like, we're not made to live in societies the way we do. Like,
There's no question. There's no questioning. Even the people that are showing up as extremely happy, it's a lot of force. That's a lot of effort.
Yeah, and they shouldn't be arrogant about it. They should be inspiring and motivating.
And they are. And
Yeah,
I know some of the people
many,
that are.
many. But I know so many people, and I was like that.
But a lot of people.
I'm like, oh, people don't want to wake up and stuff. You're like, yeah, you're lucky to be as clever as you are, and to be like where you are. But it's hard. Like, it's hard. We live in systems that are so fucked. So fucked. And we don't even know the extent of it.
I think most people that are living in the matrix are also on antidepressants.
But it's hard to say, even using the word matrix, because many people, I think many people see it as like arrogance from people to say that, oh, we out of matrix, you brainwashed, you know,
Right.
because it feels like an attack.
It does, like a stab.
People don't
yeah.
want, like, even I had this conversation with I had this conversation with a friend from here 2 days ago, yesterday, because she was like, oh, videos and stuff, you comment, you're like, you shaming people, you know, and I'm like, that's not what I'm doing. That's not what shaming is. Shaming people is like, I'm gonna make you ashamed for what you are. I'm gonna say you weak and you a piece of shit. I'm like, you're weak, you might be an idiot sometime, but there's ways. There's way to get out. And it's not arrogant for me to be like, oh, I know, I have the truth. No, but I've been there, I've done that. I'm surrounded by hundreds of people who are living a different life. So I do know better than many on my subjects. You know? And there's no arrogance saying that you're more knowledgeable than people. You can be more knowledgeable than people. That's what you study. Would you say to your teacher, "Oh, you're arrogant"?
No,
You know, it's like
it's-
why are you teaching me stuff? Do you
No.
think you know better?
no,
Like,
it's
guess what? You do.
superiority.
Exactly.
And
People are so afraid of that.
there is that though. Like it's all systems, like
Mm.
everything. There's people that are superior and inferior,
And
and
if
that's
it-
okay. And I'm not saying that that's like what we are, but that's just a way that the world, that's like a law of the world, is Mehdi's going to be able to be superior in jumping higher than I am, because that's just the way that it is. Like,
No, it's because I have strongest legs.
but that's just the way it works.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and
we
the
know
thing
all
is
the same.
that
we don't have all the same tools.
I don't know. It's not that it's an arrogance. But I do like what you're saying with taking a stab at people's lives, because
I would
it
say
is-
a rules that can be applied is if any of your views on anything has never been challenged, there is
you're staying in a
the-
safe box.
exactly. If there's one of your ideas that's never been challenged, it's bias.
Mm-hmm.
You're not objective at all, and you cannot be, because you've never allowed one of your opinion to be changed, because you think it's true. But that's the only one you know. You might have heard some, but you've never tried it, you've never embraced it, you know. And like, be curious, and if you are curious, you're gonna see. It's not you're gonna find something. You're gonna be, oh, that's my new truth. You're just gonna find like a lot of new truth, and you're gonna get some more compassion, I guess, and some more patience, because you'll be like, okay, there's a lot of things that can be true. You know, there's not just one way of living.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. There's not one way of living.
There's so many.
There's so many different ways to live.
You can be
and
out of
you
the
can-
matrix, living in the matrix. I believe that. I believe you can be very aware of it and living in the system while being out of the matrix. Because being out of the matrix is not having an iPhone or not having a phone. Is knowing very much where your phone comes from, and being aware of the different dynamics and using this tool, you know, to profit you. And yeah, I think it's a way. You can, if you want to live in matrix, live in the matrix. I feel like we don't live in it, we work with it.
But
It's like I don't live in Instagram. I don't need Instagram, but we're using it, and we're using it well. And it's gonna be the same with this podcast. And
It's a tool.
yeah, it's a tool, and I'm happy. Amazing
and
tool.
this
Amazing
is-
tools.
And this is a way that you can use whatever it is that is in your life. If the matrix, if you
We have to talk about what is
what
the
is
matrix.
the matrix? That's another one.
What is the matrix? What's the matrix?
A web. It's a web of people that I believe are on the same rhythm, the same patterns, the same trends, the same doing pretty much. The matrix is
Western societies.
revolving around what's happening with celebrities. What's like that's
true,
a
it's
big
true.
one. It's like
It's a big
it's a
one.
big topic of people like
Like celebrities are the most important people on the planet.
right.
Like, what?
It's insane to witness.
It is funny when you
people-
think about it. You're like, what are you
That's what
talking
people
about?
are talking about.
We've how do you, we worshiping people. Instead of just being inspired by people, we worshiping people, and I've seen it. I've literally seen it my own eyes with my ex brother-in-law. I've seen like people in the street coming to us to talk to like take photos with him. Some people will be like, oh my god,
You should have saw me at Disneyland. A grown ass woman was taking up all the time with a fake Disney character. There's little kids that are waiting to take a picture with this Disney character, and this grown ass woman is like talking to her as if it's really Tiana.
She was talking to me.
And I was like, what is happening? This is so messed up. And like we were looking and we were seeing all these kids, like they're just waiting, like they want to get their autograph. And this grown ass woman is like talking for 10 minutes. Took up all the time. I was like, this is, what the fuck? Like this is not even.
But it's the same with sports. It's like we worship.
With sports,
we
yes.
worship player
Football.
who makes like hundreds of millions, but we don't worship
football.
them. But like we're not. Some are inspiring, you know. A lot of are inspiring. Like people like Kobe Bryant, were like has inspired Michael Jordan, even LeBron James. Like they've inspired a lot of people, you know. But worshipping people just because they're good at a sport.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it now. I don't understand it.
So I think this is part of
They're doing nothing to your life.
the matrix, and I think,
Oh, yes.
and then politics as well, being immersed in different types of politics, and I think that's a big one.
Yes, politics is much
Yeah.
worse, very much.
So it's
Technologies.
technology.
Uncontrolled, unbalanced use of technology is
Mhm.
very matrix.
That's a good one.
Disconnection from nature.
Yeah, not having the desire or knowing that you have the desire to be in nature, and having a disconnection of, if I do go for a walk, I need to be making sure I have shoes and the right gear, because I don't want to even touch the earth.
I would say also, if your opinion is the one of your political leaders, you definitely in. Like if your opinions are the same,
Mm-hmm.
and even more, if you worship a political figure, you're
It's
like
kind of like following. There's
Yeah.
there's no question. You're just following what everybody else is doing.
But
And
you can
that,
still be against that, and
I think you're following what's safe and what's
yes,
what's-
you're following what's safe.
what's-
You don't allow yourself to be challenged.
Mhm. So if you're gonna go to an after-school program and you're with a bunch of other mothers, the conversations are probably going to be about shopping. They're probably going to be about makeup, what's happening on ETTV or whatever the fuck it's
Fuck
called.
yeah.
But those are the topics. Or the last topic is the obsession of your children. And all you talk about is your kids and what they're doing and how they're doing it, and you have no care about your life, your fitness, your health,
Yeah.
unless you're going to be buying something new or buying the latest whatever gear.
Yeah.
Anything that's like the newest thing. I think those are the topics. So it's really vapid. There's really no depth at all.
It's crazy. You know, I grew up with like, I heard people over the years saying, when we talk about watching interesting stuff, they're like, oh, but at night I like to relax my brain. And I'm like, I never understood that. It's something that I never understood. I'm like, what do you mean you need to relax your brain? I'm like, find something to relax your brain, but something that makes you feel good, that makes you feel something, that you're gonna learn. Like,
Relaxing
Wha-
the brain, like with
relax-
watching a
know
show,
what?
you mean?
Yeah, but watching like stupid show. Like a lot of people watch reality show. I'm like, okay, if you love reality show, you matrix as fuck.
And that's another
If
thing.
you go to the club every weekend, you in, you know. And again, it's not judgment. It's just we've been there. But it's hard. Like I know even this conversation, I can imagine if this was ever to get a lot of people listening to, I would get so much hate.
You think so?
Oh yes. I would get so much hate because it would be
Well,
people
because
would feel like, oh, you have this couple living their life on the other side of the world. Do you think I can do that? They
Oh,
think
there's
they
so
think
much
they think they're
belittling.
better than
There's so
everyone
much.
else, and
There's so much disbelief that people can live the life that they want. The wind's gonna knock it over.
actually, we don't need the video anymore.
Is it dark?
Yeah,
Because there's,
it's fine.
I feel like there's
we
probably
use it
our
like that.
own light, our own.
No, but I want to use the beginning of the video for the video, and all the rest will be like audio podcasts, and you can do like you can just put the podcast on Instagram too, or
Okay.
whatever. But yeah, I don't think most people are gonna like it, because like I've had this conversation, and no matter how you approach it, people feel attacked. They feel diminished, because you're attacking the whole
Their
belief
whole-
system.
uh-huh.
You're literally attacking the whole belief system. So it's too hard. It's
Mhm.
too violent, and by today I don't care anymore. If you like it, good. There is a lot of knowledge there, but no, this is not the kind of thing that's going to be listened to mainstream. Never.
Maybe.
I don't mean like they can be listened
this
by
is
a
so-
lot
but
of
this is-
people will resonate
But
with
this
that.
is still a topic that we are going to be constantly talking about,
Yeah,
because the mission is to get
but it
people
needs to be.
start questioning.
It can only be done so subtly. Imagine you work with inflammation. You know, people inflame with so much misinformation and so much like brainwashing and so much bad food and bad sleep and bad relationship and unhappiness and unsatisfaction. So when you say something like that, they get attacked. You know, they get hurt. They're like, "Oh, what you say?" So you gotta go so slowly. And to be honest, I don't care.
I don't think you have to go slow.
Well, you have to. Let's see when you go back home after spending a while here. Let's see how it works when you start telling people what you think they could do to improve their life. Let's see how they react. Yeah, I've had that. I've even had that with my mom. You know, when you're like arrogant because you say you know more, but you're like, damn, I've been studying for years. I've been living for years. I've been studying for years, and you don't value any of what I can say because it sounds like I'm
Because
I'm
of your
arrogant.
psychology.
Because I think I know better than you.
Yeah, it's a trip, man. People.
It is a trip.
Sometimes I'm so shocked at some time with people's behavior and their thought process with others, with community, with the way people talk, with the way that people look at one another. It's like people make up so many crazy random stories in their mind about others. It blows my mind that there's so many adults that think this way, because they don't know, where they take what you say out of arrogance, or someone could just be talking about, maybe I don't know.
How is it arrogant when your only desire is for people to be feeling good, happy, healthy, fulfilled? Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. We're not going around saying like, hey, look, like we better than you. You know, again, this is very matrix. I grew up with hip hop, but you know, that's very the mentality in hip hop. It's like, I got more money than you, I got more bitches than you, I got more cars, I'm better than you, and it's a popular music. It's the most popular music in the world, you know. And as much as I love rap, there's a lot of rap that I cannot listen to anymore because it's just ego trip that is just very negative. You know, it's about like, I got more than you, I'm better than you. So suddenly when you approach people, if you're not very careful and you don't like run up the angles and stuff, they think that you're doing that. They think that you're pretending to be better, and you're like, no, look, I've studied, and I've studied. There's many ways to study. We study by the way we live today too. We study lifestyle. We study
That happened with
you know, it's like we know what we're talking about, and it works.
That happened
And we're
with
like,
my dad.
we want you, yeah, we want you to be better, to
Mm-hmm.
feel better, and
My dad and my ex-boyfriend, we were at my Avery's birthday party, and my ex didn't want to eat the meat that my dad made, and he's like, why? Because it's from this type of farm, whatever. And my dad was like, do you think I'm trying to poison you? Do you think I'm trying to poison my family? Like, he was pissed. He's like, you don't want to eat this meat. And that's where there's like a fine line between the person on the other side, is like when you're at an event, this is where you use your ability to know that you're strong, you have a strong gut, and you can break bread with people no matter what.
That's beautiful to say. Yeah, at some point it's like, do you believe you're so weak that this is gonna affect you in a very negative way? And do you think it's like, if that's not the case, and you think you can take it and it's not gonna affect you, you know, might have a bad shit tomorrow, but is it more important than this relationship? And can you like maybe go there and then like either avoid this moment or talk about it, you know? Then next time you're like, hey, I bring the chicken, you know. Exactly. I cook the chicken, I bring the chicken, and you buy whatever local chicken or stuff. But many people, they get to war with that because their opinion become so strong that they need to go to war for it. They're gonna like, nah, I'm not gonna eat that, and you're gonna get into a fight with every single member of your family just so they can accept your lifestyle. And you got to be mad whenever your mom asks you if you want to eat chicken because you've been vegan for 2 years now and she still doesn't understand that you don't eat chicken. You know?
Yeah,
I've heard that so many times.
This is the other side of the arrogance. It's like when people that have created these changes in their lives push it now in a like a not so
convincing other. I've been there. I've done that for years. I've spent more time trying to convince people than I've spent not trying to convince people. So most of my life has been like that. So being opinionated and trying to like force it.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I've changed recently. Is I've stopped limiting myself, and especially when I'm going to parties, I trust my body, and if I know that there's something on my plate, like at the party, that maybe I'll if I know for sure my body's saying no, I don't eat it. And that's that. Nobody asked me anything. I don't put any attention on me.
Exactly.
But if I have the food on my plate, I gave it a go, my body said no, then I just trust it and throw it away or ask if anybody else wants it because I'm full. Whatever. Yeah. Like there's no need to draw attention that they need better products or whatever. Like
yes.
It's okay. Yes. We're gonna be fine.
That's well said.
Yeah, you're gonna be okay.
There's ways to do it.
And also, if the food is delicious, like amazingly cooked, you know, a lot of love, but yeah, maybe some of the oils, whatever, some of the ingredients aren't the best, and you know that, you see that. I still think you have the right to enjoy and indulge and just enjoy the fuck out of this meal, because that's going to pay off stronger than, oh, I have my digestive enzyme, so I'll be okay. Or, you know, it's just like, that's also silly to me, is enjoy it, love it. Whoever made it with a lot of love.
We can have a whole conversation on that. I'm like enjoying. We should do that like that. We should have topics for sunset conversations.
Yeah.
Okay, should we stop now and go home?
Let's go home.
Yeah. It's getting cold.
Are you getting cold?
No, it's not getting as comfortable as it was.
Yeah, my butt hurts. Okay, good night.
Good night. Bye, everyone.